If you want something done right, you
Do it
do it
yourself.
yourself. DIY. When we think of DIY, what immediately comes to mind? Home improvement projects, right? Ready to be that next HGTV star. Well, to be honest with you, I hate DIY home improvement. Despite being born and raised in the Midwest and having plenty of role models, I'm just not a heavy person. And for a guy from the Midwest, that is basically blasphemy. But what did I do when I bought my first home? I fell into the DIY trap. I thought, I'll save some money, do it myself, like a good Midwesterner. Despite my upbringing, many YouTube videos, and serious effort, it just never comes together for me. The results are always the same. Countless trips to a hardware store, endless frustrations, and the worst part, wasting the time, money, and energy to have the person I will eventually hire redo it all. When this would happen, I'd feel defeated, isolated, and like a failure. But my resources were limited at the time, so what was I supposed to do? This is what I call the DIY dilemma. Putting yourself in these situations where you have to struggle through it on your own, even though it's less productive. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that it's good to do DIY projects and save some money. These are not bad concepts, and I know many people are probably wondering, what the hell is the big deal? Well, for me, in home improvement, I don't enjoy it. I'm not good at it. I waste my time, and I still don't save any money. So why put myself through that? But I do agree, there are greater tragedies in life than wasting a weekend and a few $100s on a failed DIY attempt. And the truth is, the DIY dilemma is much more than home improvement. In fact, it's everywhere. It's in the defeated, frustrated parent pulling their hair out, trying to get the kids to all the events on time while forgetting to eat dinner. Picture that solo parent struggling to the airport with 5 bags, 3 kids, and a family chihuahua. It's the volunteer stepping up to lead a committee, giving back their time, to realize that the term committee is not so accurate. You all know what happens. No one shows up for meetings, don't respond to emails, and certainly no one's stepping up to help. So what does a leader do? Everything themselves. It's the business owner who doesn't trust anyone with the bookkeeping and yet always gets it wrong. It's the executive who thinks ideas have to come from them and keeps wondering why they get the same results. The DIY dilemma is all too common. You have to grind it out. You can only trust yourself. No one is here to help you. And again, if you want something done right. These are the stories we get told time and time again. So that's what we do. We fall on the sword and suffer through it alone. We actually wear self-sacrifice as a badge of honor. But the DIY dilemma costs us time, money, and energy. And it also isolates, limits creativity, and reduces our potential. No wonder we feel burned out and stuck in a cycle. Do you know that studies show teams outperform individuals 82% of the time? And that prolonged feelings of isolation and loneliness is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day, increasing your risk of premature death by 26%.
Wow.
We are literally getting less done and harming ourselves in the process. So why do we get stuck in the DIY dilemma? Surprise, surprise, there's studies for that too. And these studies would show that it happens for one of 4 reasons. Ego, cultural conditioning, lack of resources, and fear of burdening others. Just think back to those earlier examples. How many times do we fall into the DIY trap without even knowing it? It's no wonder that so many of us feel burned out, isolated, and stuck in this trap of feel like we're constantly doing more and getting less done. It's no wonder that we feel like we're stuck to just we're doomed to repeat this over and over again. But what if we weren't? What if there was another way? One that didn't lead to so much burnout, frustration, and isolation? Curiosity is an answer. As curiosity is the bridge from burnout to breakthrough, as it helps us look beyond our current assumptions, question the status quo, and open the door to new possibilities. And it does it with 3 fundamental shifts. The first is mindset. It simply challenges us to ask the question, is there a better way? To paraphrase Einstein, the thinking that gets you into a situation is not the same thinking that will get you out of it. What it does is allow us to look beyond our current situations and our own limitations. But of course, thinking isn't enough. Curiosity drives action. It gives us the courage to experiment, explore, play, and take the steps towards those new opportunities. It's not just about seeing the door, but having the courage to walk through it. And lastly, curiosity connects people and ideas. It allows us to tap into the resources, perspectives, and expertise of others. It reminds us that we don't always have to go it alone. Solutions are often waiting in the help and ideas of others. Curiosity is not about having all the right answers. It's about daring to ask the right questions. Just think about those earlier examples. What if they got curious and changed their tactics? What if the parent created a new route, organized a carpool circle, or just from time to time asked for some help? What if that volunteer, instead of sending an email out to everyone that goes unanswered, went to each committee member one by one and asked for help on a single task? What if the business owner hired a bookkeeper and spent more time on growth and strategy? What if the executives and managers created a culture of innovation and feedback that allowed the team to collectively solve problems and explore new opportunities? I'll tell you what would happen. Each of them would be less frustrated, less isolated, and get more done. This is why curiosity is the antidote to the stagnation and isolation of the DIY dilemma. We have all experienced times of crisis. Moments when the world feels unpredictable and everything that we had previously relied on suddenly changes. One such time was COVID. It was a scary time. Every individual, family, and business for themselves. Our health, livelihood, even our sanity were at stake. Millions lost their jobs. Kids fell behind in school. 20% of small businesses closed their doors permanently. And household names like J. Crew and Hertz Rental Car filed for bankruptcy. But there was a community that dared to be curious and minimized COVID's effects. Travel with me to Corning, New York. It is a small town of just over 10,000 people, home to Corning Incorporated and over 250 small businesses. When they were faced with the uncertain future of COVID, the executive director of their local nonprofit that supports local businesses chose curiosity over despair. She brought her team together and asked some simple but profound questions. What if this isn't over in a few weeks? What can we do to support our community? Who can we rally to help? Her team jumped into action, got creative, and created a program called Buy Now, Shop Later. It was a digital marketplace that allowed these small businesses to sell gift cards to generate cash flow, many of whom didn't even have websites. Corning Incorporated did not sit on the sidelines. They matched every dollar spent. The results of this collective effort were that not a single small business closed their doors due to the pandemic. And 3 new businesses opened up. This was not just a story of survival. It was a story of reinvention, fueled by curiosity. At a time when isolation felt mandatory, curiosity challenged that, reminding us that even in the worst climates, we are not alone. Curiosity transforms individual struggles into shared victories, unlocking innovation by connecting people and ideas. What is the DIY dilemma costing you? Your family, your community, your business. What burdens do you need to let go of? And what team can you build for 82% better results? Curiosity is not just a skill. It's a spark and a superpower that transforms challenges into opportunities and connects us to solutions far beyond what we can create alone. So join me in lessening the burden. Stop wearing self-sacrifice as a badge of honor. Start wearing curiosity as your cape. Thank you.